So the norm says the guy pushes the girl first, but at the time I knew that I liked him or that I loved him. I was in the Valentine, my first stage.
I think a lot of what people go through growing up is called liking. Liking someone is an uninformed attraction. Loving someone is a choice. You need to learn to have the relationship be more than yourself.
I was sad. I was crying. I had to pick a chocho I had to calm myself down and pick the chocho and then go. What does he think? What's he thinking?
How did you know he was the one?
Because I have spec. Me sometimes I know I can be too new.
Hey,
because I know how to fry bread and egg. I know how to do bread and
but
egg.
in your own.
When I fry bread and egg, I beat my egg, I fry it, I open the bread, I put it inside, and I toast the bread. Finish. Guess how he does it?
All correct.
You know how we do it. Hi world, hi ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gifty and I'll be your host for today. Today is a bright day because guess what? It's Val's Day. And I have here with me Jed and Olivia. So Jed and Olivia are a couple. I mean, they are dating with the aim of getting married. So we have them to talk to us about their relationship. We have some simple questions for them. But before we start, we'll play a game. Who knows who best? Okay. So my first question is, let me just ask a general question. If your relationship were a movie, what would be the title?
Die Hard.
Why Die Hard?
Because every day we die, but we keep going. It's really not easy, you know.
It's
every
not
day
easy.
there's something new in a relationship that you find out, and if you are a very superficial person, these petty issues will put you off really quickly.
Yeah.
So every day is a battle, but it's a battle that, you know, would bring about the victory of the relationship. Yeah.
Olivia?
Okay, I think if our relationship was to be a movie, it would probably be Mission Impossible.
Wow.
Why do I say that? Because it's not because the mission is impossible, but because at the end of the movie, the mission is possible. You get it? Because Ethan Hunt does a thing, he jumps up and down, goes blah blah blah. But yeah, I feel like that's what resonates with our relationship more, because there are a lot of things that go into putting aside your pride and becoming someone else. That's what he does most of the time in the movie. Identity change and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it would be Mission Impossible. I don't know why I chose that movie, but yeah.
Did it randomly come into your mind?
Yes, actually did.
Okay. So, next question. Who said I love you first?
Oh, it was her.
Hey,
Straight
but
up.
is that the
Yeah.
norm?
Not really. That's not the norm. So the norm says the guy pushes the girl first, but at the time I knew that I liked him or that I loved him. I was in the Valentine, my first stage, because I've been single for a while and I was praying to God for direction into a new relationship, and I was hoping that maybe if I told him that I liked him, I would just get it off my chest.
So, as at the time you were praying, you knew him?
No, I didn't know him at the time.
So, it was the prayer before he came?
Yeah, before he
so
came.
prayer answered. Wow.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I guess prayer answered. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I said it first.
Okay. So, I mean, going back before coming on set, I asked them some few questions. So I would want to try to see if Jed knows Olivia very well, if Olivia also knows Jed very well. So, Jed,
Okay.
I would want to ask, what is one word Olivia likes saying? the most?
Okay, so Olivia likes to go like, okay, and it keeps coming over and over again. And it's mostly when she's confused or she doesn't agree with you. She wants to find a way to make you know
She's a
that what you're
debater, eh?
saying is not making sense to her.
She likes
You know.
debating with you a lot.
Oh yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
women are like that. Do you agree?
Oh yes, but
Okay.
she can never continue because once I bring in my A game and we get
Eh.
into our debate stage, then she starts to get frustrated. But that's just
Then
how
she'll
it
start
is.
crying.
Yes,
Women.
just hate it when we win the argument.
Yeah. Okay, Olivia, what word?
For Jet,
Yes.
Jet, like most used word is like hey yeah, or like kilo shele. Like it's like Nigerian. Like what's the problem?
Kiloshe.
Like kilo she, or like the hey yeah is like a lot because like when something happens to somebody can say, oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm like, hey yeah. Then it's like yeah, like those like the
Next question. What is Jed's favorite food?
oh jollof.
Hey, you're right.
Jollof.
You're right. You really, really know your
Ghana
man.
jollof, to be
It's jollof.
precise.
Okay.
It's
I'll be
jollof.
saying AI any day, but still I choose Ghana jollof. Sorry.
You don't like Nigerian jollof? I heard
No,
it's
please.
nice, so.
No. That thing tastes like soup and rice.
Sorry to all Nigerians. Okay, so Olivia, what does Jed like? Hey, his
Yeah.
food, his favorite food.
Jollof. I said jollof.
Uncle Jed.
Oh, Olivia is an eba and okra soup lady.
Hey, you
Yeah,
guys really
she
know each
likes her
other. The meaning people
swallows.
like eating. The
Oh,
relationship
yeah,
is
that's what we
eating
do.
relationship.
Oh, we try our best.
We do.
Okay.
It's our passion.
Okay, so if you could have any superpower to help your relationship, what would it be? I mean, this is a general question, not to know each other.
Okay. For me, I think it would be mind reading. Like,
Hey,
like for me, it would be mind reading. Because like even though men say that they are not mind readers for women, I feel like we women also would like to know what's in the
but you
thoughts of
actually
our
have the
men.
Holy Spirit, eh?
Yes.
So you can read some things.
We can read like their behavior and things like that. But sometimes I can tell that Jed might be going through something that he may not be like
Open about
because
it.
He's a man. He doesn't want to like fully share. I wish I could read his mind to know and then maybe help him out or something.
So I think the
So-
superpower is Uncle Jed. Please be the superpower to open up a bit.
Well, it's more
Open up a bit
complicated,
for a
but
baby
yeah.
girl.
Oh yes. I do try my best, but I mean, there are times where I do open up, and she's just a bit lost as to what she has to do to make me feel better, And it's not intentional, but we men, we grow up and we feel like every problem we face, we're supposed to fix it. And we've been given all this strength that we don't know what to do with, and
Yeah.
we're expected that strength to be translated
But then-
into emotional strength.
But then when God created a woman,
Oh, yeah.
who is a woman in the Bible? A helper, a helpmate, right?
Yes.
So
of course.
if you think she's the one, right, and she's in your life and you feel like, okay, I know who I am. I know these are some kind of situations I find myself into where I cannot open up to a lady. And now I have Olivia with me, right?
Yeah.
What, like, you can open up to her because she's your helpmate.
Oh, yeah,
Or-
of course. Of course.
I mean, I
it
stand
doesn't
to be
stop me-
corrected.
it doesn't stop
Probably
me
because
from
you don't want to
opening up.
burden her.
Oh,
or something.
No. It's not that I don't want to burden her. In some cases, probably whatever I'm going through, it's something that I don't want her to go through because as men, we grow up to be protectors all the time, right? There's probably something difficult going on, and it's not something that I want to burden her with because she might overuse her resources, and I do not want her
What
to
if
use her
she wants
resources.
to know?
Oh,
I mean, there are
don't
some
mind
ways
telling
you
her.
can tell her where,
Yeah.
like, she would understand, right? Or
Oh yes, definitely. We definitely go about it, and eventually we talk about it, and she gets to understand what
please
was
don't
really
let her
going
go
on.
through the stress to find
Yeah.
out. I mean, for me, I think, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? Once you know you are with someone you're really, really comfortable with, once you know you are like with someone you're really, really comfortable with, then the person should be someone you open up freely to. I know it's
Oh,
very
yeah.
difficult for men. I know it's difficult, but like, that's the reason why you have a spouse, right? A girlfriend, a woman, or a beloved. That's how we Christians, we love to call it, right? I mean, she's in your life to help you so that you will know how I think when you also open up with that, both of you will know how to come to solve like issues in the relationship.
Yeah.
You get it because you know how she thinks about whatever you are going through.
Well, I agree with you. And men and women are built separately and differently, but at the same time, too, we're meant to be one. And
Okay.
in all my interactions with her, there are a lot of instances where I do come to her, especially for advice. And
That's
we all have
good.
our strengths and our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I make sure that whatever issue I'm facing, I play at her strengths,
Okay,
and that
that's good.
and that
That's
her
good.
weaknesses do not come to interfere. Because let's say, for instance, if someone has been owing me for a long time, right, and I want to, and it's bothering me, right, and I tell Olivia will enter the person's DM and give them rain fire on them.
Oli.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But in seeking her advice on it, I wouldn't pinpoint exactly who it is, but I'll try and pick her opinion on what should be done about the matter,
Okay.
and then go about and then perform
Okay.
it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm already in love with you too. Okay, so next question. Favorite color. What is Jed's favorite color?
Green.
Yeah, right. Olivia's favorite color.
Oh, blue,
Okay.
navy blue. Yeah.
So last question on the icebreaker. What's her favorite scripture?
That's Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God
Okay.
and all
In
righteousness.
this.
This one is Matthew 6:21. Where your treasure is, there your heart lies.
Why? I mean, did you guys know the questions I was going to ask?
Oh.
Or you guys really know each other?
Yeah,
No,
like these are things
yeah.
like we
First instance.
spoke about.
Oh.
And it's been on my status for a very long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get back to the real deal here.
Mm-hmm.
So, love, it's Val's Day, and I know most people are single, most people are in a relationship. So, I mean, people would want to get insights about relationship. I mean, should I enter into it? And I'm sure when people listen to you, they would want to rethink about the fact that they want to be single or they want to enter into the relationship, especially Christians or believers. Okay. So, love. You know, people actually describe love and like the same, right? But I would want to hear your view on what's like and love, like the difference between love and like. Jed, would you like to go first or Olivia?
Oh, yes. I think a lot of what people go through growing up is called liking, because to like someone is an uninformed decision that you have made based on a physical appearance that you have been attracted to. So to summarize, I'll say liking someone is an uninformed attraction. Yeah. So a lot of the times we see someone walking by, oh, maybe this girl was looking so amazing in this dress, right? And then you just therefore
Do you
decide
like
that you like
complimenting
her.
girls?
Oh, well, I mean, I do enjoy making sure girls are living
Wow.
in their best moments.
How does
So-
Olivia feel about that? Because for
Oh,
me,
well.
I'll come in. I mean, everyone is different, of course. So
Oh, yes, definitely. But you see, Olivia has spent enough time with me to understand that
This
whatever
is who you are.
relationship I have with other ladies is not close to whatever I have with her. And that
Okay.
I make sure I keep the right boundaries,
That's good.
I do not speak to or talk to ladies at ungodly hours, and I do not text ladies any uncomfortable conversations,
That's good.
things like that.
Oh,
And there's complete transparency in our relationship. So therefore the trust is strong.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you done with your description? Love and
Oh,
like?
yes. So in loving someone is a choice. I mean, you have decided that this
Love
person is
a
someone.
choice.
This person is someone I want to build a relationship with that would lead to marriage, and that would lead to a lifelong commitment of marriage where the two of you grow together, you live together, you die together.
Okay. Wow. Olivia, what's your take on love and like?
I think that as you said, love is a choice, and to love someone is way harder than to like someone. Like I like you. I like you because of what I see, what I have heard, but
Okay.
I love you despite what I know
Whatever.
about you. Jesus
Exactly.
loves us despite all the sins that we do.
It's true.
And that's the kind of love that we are called to emulate. Loving just like Jesus loved us. And so love is meant to be unconditional. Nowadays we love on condition. So once
I
there's
know, right?
something
Gen
small,
Z era.
once something goes wrong,
Or
then
it's inconveniencing
or
to
it's
you.
inconveniencing to you, then I don't love you again.
Yeah.
I don't
But you
understand.
know,
yeah.
some things are there. You can't compromise on it, right? So are you
Yes.
trying to tell me that if I'm trying to stop the relationship because I've seen some things I can't compromise on, I can't leave because I don't love you?
So everything we do in a relationship as Christians is based on the word of God, the Bible.
Okay.
So if let's say you have a standard, you don't want to mess around, during the relationship, and then this person wants to do that, you can still love the person, but I am following my master, I'm following my God, and I'm not. The Bible says flee, like you understand. So
Yeah.
I'm fleeing. I am not trying to stay and understand you. Like I'm leaving.
Okay.
If that's what we hold ourselves to.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you've given some examples of what I'm coming to ask. So, what are the signs to show that someone deeply loves you? Because me, I don't know when someone loves me. Aside the love of God, I can't tell. So, I'm here to learn from you. What are the signs to show that? Okay, Olivia, what are the signs? What are signs Jed is showing to show that he really, really loves you? Because I'm sure you guys have gotten to the point where you love each other. You've overcome the liking stage, right? Where you guys love each other now. So what did he show you?
Yeah. So when someone is very considerate of me and goes to the extreme, people hardly do that. Like somebody would
But he
hardly
does that.
go to the extreme
Thumbs
for
up.
you.
The brotherhood is proud of you.
But Jed does that. Like so after the physical
Me, I want
attraction,
examples. So
okay, after the physical attraction, Jed would, like, he would, if I
physical
needed something
attraction. What kind of physical attraction?
after
Like
the physical
whatever
attraction,
you are seeing
Yes.
about him.
a very very cute, handsome man.
Oh, and she's very beautiful.
Yeah,
And-
I agree.
Yes, and so like for example, Jed can I sing, so I have maybe a program to go to or a rehearsal. I remember there was like a whole month where every rehearsal I went to, Jed would go, like, take me to the rehearsal, stay with me the whole rehearsal,
Hey,
and he would take me back to church because I'm a church worker and I have to go back to church.
this one, the world people will be like Yakubu Joe.
Yakubu
Yakubu Joe.
like people
I know, right?
wouldn't like people wouldn't normally do that, and or like you take me to my house, go give my mother, my father, and
Wow.
it was
Also, both parents know. Like,
Of course,
wow.
yes.
Yeah, I'm
yes,
proud of
and
you.
and he was very considerate of me. Whenever, let's say, I needed something, he would restructure his schedule just for me.
Wow.
He would he would go to lengths to make sure I was comfortable.
Okay,
Understand?
so let me
Yeah.
say he performs your love language perfectly.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, my love language is acts of service and
Oh.
words of affirmation.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so like you would tell that, oh, you're looking beautiful today, or like you really
Look at
did
how he's
well.
even looking at you.
Like all like those things. And like after the physical attraction, considering those things,
Yeah.
I realized that he loved me. Loved, or like a word. Yeah, you get it.
Okay, so Uncle Jade, how about
Oh
you?
yeah. So we're Christians, right? The Bible
Yeah.
takes us and tells us exactly what love is supposed to look like. It being patient, kind, long suffering, and everything that has to do with the things we struggle with as Christians, because pride and selfishness and all the malicious things that are in our hearts by nature of our sinful self,
Okay.
right, tends to pull us away from
Yeah.
what love is supposed to be. So when I look at my relationship with Olivia, she's quite considerate, quite loving to
Also,
me.
both of you have the same love language. Because
No. So my love language is quality time and physical touch.
physical touch.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get
Yes.
there.
All right. So for love languages, Olivia understands how to hug me appropriately.
Oh,
She understands
Not the
when to
Pentecostal.
hold my hand and when to put her hand on my knee as we drive, and when to yes. Apart from that, Olivia understands the fact that every moment we spend needs to be intentional.
Okay.
Yeah. So even something as simple as a drive would result in probably having a sing along or
Okay.
a very deep, thoughtful conversation, or planning towards our future. Very important conversations that we have that would result in quality time. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you made mention initially before we started. I think when we started, right, you said it's not easy. So that brings me to my next question. Let me just ask straightforward. Is your relationship difficult or easy?
It is difficult, but we know how to make it easy.
I want to know the difficult parts, and
Yes.
I want to know how you make it easy.
Well, first of all, we are completely different people. I'm an
agree.
introvert. She's an extrovert. I'm a quiet person. She's talkative. She
But she doesn't look like a
She's-
talkative here because she's not even talking. As you are talking, she's not even trying to,
she's
involve
trying to be the
himself.
mirror.
Please bring yourself out.
Yeah. So, in the way we relate to each other, we tend to have a lot of misunderstanding, especially in words spoken. She's a woman, so there are certain words you don't say around women, based on certain context.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will trigger a lot of conflicts. But we tend to make sure that we learn from our previous conflicts, and more importantly, we hold ourselves accountable to our accountability partner. So it's
Oh.
very important that when a conflict goes beyond our natural ability to contain it, we seek counsel from someone who
Okay.
we both respect. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is how we tend to manage our conflicts, right? But we have had very difficult moments in our relationship. I won't lie. It's been very hard, but we are both growing, and each moment that we do encounter such things, we realize that we are different from who we were a
Exactly.
few moments earlier. Yeah.
Olivia.
So I think every relationship after you cross at the first year, the first is like
I know, right? Honeymoon. I know.
when it's like honeymoon, after you cross the first year, and you start to see, like, I would call it shaggy. Like,
Hey.
after the
Shaggy
feelings
power.
leave, I wouldn't say like shaggy in the way that we know.
Oh, yeah, I understand
But
you.
then you start to realize that this guy has flaws, and like we women, we have like very strong opinions. We are very
it's true.
opinionated people, and we like to have like we want to have the last word. And social media is very misleading.
That's true.
Where go like, oh, the woman is always right. But
Yeah.
you know you are wrong. Like, you know that you are wrong. You know you are
But
very-
still, you want to be
but
right.
still you want to be
Women.
right. Women. And so it got very hard at a point where I realized something I didn't know about myself. That I easily get offended.
Oh.
And I didn't know this about myself because my friends were not really offending me. Like, I wasn't finding offense in what they were saying. But at a point in my relationship, every single thing Jed did was annoying me. I was just being offended, left, right, center,
Jehovah
front,
collects
back.
me. Jehovah collects me.
It was
But yeah.
it was a very interesting period. But then
Are you still in that period?
not really, because I've learned to let me say,
Understand
to
him.
reflect on whatever I
Oh, okay.
hear and ask questions.
Okay.
So, for example, when let me give you it happened quite a while ago. It was Val's Day, and so
And
I was
today is what? Val's Day.
it was Val's Day, and I was on campus. I was doing my master's at the time. Oh yeah, at the time, and so I was expecting that he would call me and say, "Oh,
Happy
I'm
birthday.
coming to pick you up. We are going out. We are going here." But then I wasn't hearing anything.
Oh,
So I decided
Charlie, Gen Z for.
I'm a very I take initiative. I like taking initiative. So I decided to go to him.
Wow.
Yes, I tried to meet him.
This is a point to take, like a note to take. I mean, it shouldn't always be the man, right?
Yes. So he said, I'm like I was going to him, and so I texted him, "Hey, so I'm coming home, yeah." And then when I said I'm coming home, he was like, "You mean your parents' place, right?" And at that point, I was like,
He actually forgot the day.
like, he
You say you're coming home. Tell me
So-
which home. Eh?
exactly. So like when he said, "You mean your parents' home, right?" Like at that moment, I was like,
Is it that he didn't know what
like,
day
what do
was?
you
or
mean?
what?
Like, my parents, I'm coming to you. Like, because I was on campus day once, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
To spin text, like, to you. And so
You see, the point is in her mind, Jet is her home, but you in your mind, her parents. Wow, look at this.
So then I got like offended. Like I was so like disoriented. I was like, so I was sad. I was crying. I had to go and pick a chocho too. So I had to like calm myself down and pick the chocho and then go. And then when I got to him, he was just explaining. He was just asking me what maybe I'll pass on my parents' place before I come to his, or like he was just trying to find like clarification. So if I had just relaxed and said, "Oh no, I'm coming to your place," then he would have been easier. But I just jumped to conclusion. I was crying and I was offended. I was angry.
Oh my God.
It was just so funny. And that was like, I think 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Oh, how long have you guys been in a relationship?
We've been in a relationship for 2 years. Last December was 2 years.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. And when are we getting married?
Thank you.
You get your invites.
You get to invite.
I hope soon.
Yeah. So it's but right now we've learned that communication is like the best. If you don't assume because
But I think, when it comes to communication too, there are ways we can communicate. I mean, as you are saying, just communication. Some ladies, they just go straight forward with their points. They are just come to blast you. They don't reflect on whatever. Like you said, you reflected on it and you went to communicate. So I want you to tell us how you communicated to him, right? Because some people, they just go and communicate and they just say whatever they want to say. Because they want to free their minds. You understand?
So I think I'll take, so for example, when I entered the relationship, I felt like if we have a conflict, let's resolve it right there and then. That was like my place. We just had a conflict. Let's just solve it right now and then go. So every time like we spoke and I felt like, okay, we had resolved the conflict, then Jed would come maybe the next day or 2 days later and go like, okay, so you know what happened 2 days ago? I wasn't really happy and about the way like things happen. And I'll be like,
Are you not happy he was able to, open up about it?
So in my mind, I'm like, I thought we had talked about this like already. And for me to think that you're still thinking about it, like it's like it kind of hurts because it means that you are brooding over it. And then I learned or realized that for him, he takes time to process these things.
Okay.
For me, I am like, I don't keep a lot of feelings for a very long time. I have a very like short fuse. I get angry. I explode. I just move on.
Okay.
But for him, he takes time to process the feelings and all those things. So it comes back later, cry, and then he wants to talk about it. So I learned I have to take my time. If things happen, he's not going to leave me.
Taking notes. Take your time before you go and blast your spouse.
Yeah, he's not going to just like blow up on me because sometimes when he's not talking, I'm like, what is he thinking? What's he thinking? But then now I realized that he's just processing it, and that he will come back to talk about it with me. Okay. Yeah. So,
when you were talking, he said home. I mean, yes, you guys are dating, right?
Yeah.
So, and he said his love language is physical touch. So when you go to him, I mean, how are you able to, because you love him, you guys have gotten to the point where you love each other, right? Yeah. And love comes with some kind of, affection for each other. Love is affection automatically. So when you go to his place, how are you able to manage that kind of affection when nothing happens? Because I know you are believers. You believe in no sex before marriage, right? Yes. So how are you able to manage that kind of situation? Especially when he's saying that his love language is physical touch. When you touch him, something will ignite. I mean, you understand? So how are you able to like?
So, when you say physical touch for Jed, I know it's not necessarily about like doing stuff together. You understand? It's about the small things, holding his hand,
his head.
His head.
Okay.
And so like
like
for example, if I like have fresh nails like yours, like he would like it if when he's driving, my hand is behind his head and I'm just like stroking the back.
I mean,
things like that.
What happened? I don't know if I should ask this question, but I mean, when it happens like that, how do you feel? How do you manage it? How do you control yourself that it doesn't escalate to something else?
Okay. first of all, my first love language is quality time. So for me, I am an intellectual. I like to spend a lot of time discussing, reviewing things, watching things, laughing about things if possible, but then trying to have a more advanced way of thinking. Then also, we are mindful about the fact that we are Christians. Once you have Jesus Christ in you, you are a new person. And being a new person doesn't mean that you stay as a baby Christian forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should have matured to a certain point that you have
Transformation.
more control over your flesh.
Okay.
Yeah, so even though we do spend some quality times together, we make sure that it's not too long. We spend a lot of time going out. All right. And when we go out, if even we are together, it's going to be mostly in church. So we don't get enough time during the weekday. It's mostly weekends. So Saturdays, Sundays, I mean, we are children of God. We always spend time in church.
I know,
If it's
right?
not
I know,
rehearsals,
right?
it's prayers. If it's not prayers, we are doing Bible study, and so because of that, we are renewed in our mind. So we know that you get to a certain point,
Don't talk
you
for
do
him
not.
because I'll come to here too. So talk
No
for
problem.
yourself.
You get to a certain point and you have to just stay away for some time.
Yeah.
And in that staying
It's
away,
true.
you are being very reasonable, and you let her understand why, but at the same time to make her feel comfortable. Don't make her feel like every day she's tempting you. That's not the point of the physical touch.
Okay.
She has to feel comfortable with it, because there will be the time and the place for it. Marriage is not too far away. Yeah.
Oh.
So we are building something bigger than us,
Yeah.
so that we can start a generation together when the time is right.
That's good. Olivia, how about you? I mean, when you visit him,
Yeah.
especially when you're in love, you know what I'm coming to ask, especially when you're in love, how do you control yourself so that it doesn't go to the point where we all are trying to avoid?
Yeah. So for me, I just keep reminding myself that enche, like it's not be far. Like
Enche.
I just try to be very real.
So wait to how should I even ask this? Enche. So
like marriage is not far.
marriage is not far, I understand. But like
But what do I do?
No. Enche, marriage is not far. So, people, because they want to hurry up and do their thing, they want to do their do. So they put marriage in their minds, forgetting about the other aspect.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes, very much.
it's just like a byproduct of marriage. Like it's one of the things you do. So you try to keep yourself, as Jet said, we don't really get to see each other during the weekdays. If we are seeing each other during the week, maybe he's giving me a lift to work
Okay, to
or
church
something
or
like
something.
that. But weekends, Saturday's church, Sunday's church. After that, we go out. He takes me back home. So there's not a lot of time spent at
Okay,
his.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay.
You get it.
So, I would want to ask, I'm a Christian. You are believers too as well. So do you believe in the fact that you are supposed to be equally yoked before relationship, or you believe in, I'll change her?
See, it's never appropriate to make that mistake and say that, this person is not really that much of a Christian, so I'll change her. You are not God.
I know, right?
People need to really realize that if first of all you are entering a relationship, most people start off with the liking part where the attraction is so strong.
Yeah.
So you are being blinded by that in the first place.
Okay.
Secondly, people have a mind on their own. If the person didn't start out as a Christian, you cannot guarantee that they will end up as a Christian.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Even people
you need
pretend.
to, yes, people pretend just because they are in love. They'll be like, I'll do this for you. I'll marry you. I'll buy you that ring. I'll marry you in that church. But then when they are done, they'll tell you, where are you going? Stay in the house.
Then they'll be beating you and all that. You
Yeah.
can't say anything.
See,
You can't even go and tell your parents.
it can be very difficult. Even if the relationship looks so amazing, and even if he marries you and is so amazing, your salvation is at hand. God will ask you that
true.
question.
That's true.
That your spouse that's never changed or turned his life to me. First of all, there's something wrong in there. Secondly, that salvation is missing, and I'll hold you accountable to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So as Christians, do not be unequally yoked. It just saves you a lot. It saves you a lot. Yeah. You need to know your spouse and their Christianity level. You need to know.
Someone asked me this question. So how are you going to win a soul for Christ? What if the person just came into your life for you to change the person? I mean, what if you are actually
That's
supposed
different. Love is different. They say do not awaken love before it's time. That's straight in the Bible. You do not awaken love before it's time.
Okay,
So if you are there to win that person, so win the soul and then take your time. When the time is right, the love will appear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Olivia, how about you? Do you believe in equally yoked?
Oh yeah,
I believe you guys are both
we are
yoked.
we are both
In
equally
faith.
yoked in faith
Yeah.
and in principles. So
Nice.
sometimes they are like, yeah, you are both Christians, you're both believers, but then you are not equally you are not so equally yoked, because maybe one person spent their Saturdays at nightclubs or at
I know, right?
Shatawale's concert, but they are still a Christian. That's what they say. They are still a Christian. But another person spends her time or his time
In church.
at church, being a church worker, and you guys get married, and one person is at home on Saturdays, goes like, "Where are you?" And he's like, I'm in church. At church doing what?
I'm
at this
hungry.
time.
Come and
It's
cook
not-
for me.
come and cook for-" Things like that. So like, I
Okay.
think being equally yoked is not just about being believers, but being with somebody who understands where you are as a believer. And I wouldn't advise that a very mature Christian get in a relationship with a baby Christian, because it can be quite dangerous, or it can be harmful to the relationship.
Yeah.
So this question is going to be thrown at both of you. We all go through tests and trials in everything we do, whether relationship or whatever. So I would want to ask your first test in this relationship for 2 years. I mean, come on. And as
okay.
Christians, trying to take away all those,
Okay. So the first actual test of
and
our
how did you overcome it?
relationship.
So
Oh
please add
yes,
that.
sure. The first ever trial we encountered in our
As
relationship.
Christians.
Yeah, as Christians, came about because we were having a biblical debate. So I had a certain mindset or point of view that I wanted to raise up, and she did not have it. She felt my opinion or my thoughts about that aspect of Christianity was so wrong, and we kept going at it until we came to a point where we had to agree to disagree. I don't know if we should talk about it here.
Okay, so we were talking
She's
about
actually a talkative.
certain we're talking about certain principles of, like, we're just talking about like Christianity as a whole. I was trying to figure. I am a Bible nerd.
Oh,
I like the Bible. I like to learn about the Bible. I would like to even just go to school, like Bible
Just for the
school,
Bible.
just for the knowledge. But so we're having a sort of like a debate, and he was of the view that everything was predestined. That is another conversation to go into. And I just started saying that that's like borderline Calvinism. And
hey, wait.
so those are like very biblical terms that we'll be going into if we try to go into the full thing.
Yeah.
But then it was a very big debate, because I was like, that was like our first year, and I'm like, am I going to date a man who actually believes in Calvinism, or who actually is a Calvinist?
Why?
It's not.
He wasn't a Christian.
He was a Christian, but it's a particular belief in Christianity. So the problem we had was the fact that I was using the word predestination in the sense of like the Calvinist theory, but he was using the word in the literal form.
Understanding the word.
That so he was using, probably we will call it foreknowledge, that God has foreknowledge. So I was saying that don't just use the word foreknowledge of that God has foreknowledge. Don't say that God has predestined everything. Yes, God has predestined everything, but in the way we're debating about it, it was more like foreknowledge. So it was quite a very heated argument, and we just came to the understanding that we're using the word in two different contexts, and so we just have to understand each other. You understand? So I know that might not be like the trial
Those
you're looking
exciting
for,
ones.
but yeah, that was like our
Okay.
our first.
But I think the whole point of this was that just because we are so rooted in Christ that it tends to be that most of our trials do stem from our belief system, and the fact that we're Christians and we're both raised in two different Christian homes and we both read the Bible and the Lord speaks to us in different ways. We all have a way of understanding that the other might find difficult to relate to, and so we tend to find out that we are marrying the two the more we get to know each other, and that none of us is exactly wrong, but Christ is still king, in our relationship. Yeah.
So who amongst you has the highest form of pride? Bang bang, drum roll. Okay.
No, you
What?
see,
So I want to ask this question: have you guys been in a situation where you had to put your pride aside just for the sake of the relationship?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yes. Like for me,
And what was the outcome?
sometimes I know, like I can be too no.
Hey,
Like it's not that I'm too no, but like I know the thing. So when you say I don't know the thing, like I'm like,
Oh yeah.
who do you think you are?
I know, right?
Or like who do you think you are? But for the sake of I wouldn't say I am putting aside my knowledge or my
Yeah,
My-
but,
but-
sometimes you have to open yourself to learn.
yes, exactly. Opening yourself up to learn and trying to find new things. I grew up in a home where my mom does things one way, like stew one way, jollof one way, everything one way. Like if you try to bring another way, like to her, like she'll get very mad. And I realized
Maddest.
that I was taking up that character where, like, for example, let me just use a very simple example: frying bread and egg.
Uh-huh.
When I fry bread and egg, I beat my egg, I fry it, I open the bread, I put it inside,
Uh-huh.
and I toast the bread. Finish. Guess how he does it? He'll
He'll
fry
fry-
first. He'll fry. No, once he's frying the egg, he's buttering bread, and then you put it in the toaster. Let it toast. Then, as when he has finished frying the
When
egg,
we would do,
when he finished frying the egg, then you open the bread that he has toasted, then put the egg
and toast
inside,
again.
and
My
then,
debut.
and then you say, I'm like,
And when we would
what
do,
kind of work is this? So like the first time I was frying egg
So
for
the
the
problem
both
is the
of
work.
us, and he was not like the problem is the work. I'm like, he was like, but why didn't you butter the bread first? And I'm like,
I mean, you didn't even tell her how she should do it.
because like I know how to fry bread and egg, and I know how to
I
do
know,
bread and
but
egg.
in your own. Hey, the way you're turning your head there.
No, like, because I'm like, it was unheard of for me to use butter, toast it, then open it up, then put the egg inside.
Mhm.
That's a lot of calories,
Process.
a lot of oil, a lot of
Mm.
unnecessary things that you
Oh.
are putting. But to be honest, when I tasted it, it was nicer than my bread and egg. Like it tasted nicer than my bread. Like my bread and egg would be like, it's not like dry, but like
But then you are
because-
going through the healthy way, so I think it's fine.
Exactly.
And you should also learn to go through the healthy way,
Oh,
because at the
yeah,
end of the
yeah.
day, she's going to enjoy like the healthy part of you.
the
Of
healthy
course.
part.
Do you
So,
understand?
like his own is more flavorful because of the margarine inside and the oils and everything.
They said, see, the unhealthy way is always sweet.
exactly.
It's always sweet.
Exactly.
So, or you don't agree?
Or die be die.
Okay, so like I want to specifically know where you have put your pride aside.
Yes. So
Just for the relationship.
I think back to the kitchen. Jed knows how to cook. I know how to cook.
Oh, man who can cook. Oh God, when?
I know how to cook. And so whenever I'm trying to prepare something and then he comes and goes, like he tried to tell me his preferences, I'm like, I know how to do this thing. Like I get angry. Like I used to get angry
yeah.
because I think I know. I was open to learning.
Oh,
So
okay.
in the beginning, Jed and I can't stay in the kitchen for like more than 5 minutes.
Hey, hope all knives are put aside.
But
Cause
but by God's grace, like now we can can be in the kitchen and then prepare and go together and then eat.
okay.
You understand? Yeah.
So what love advice you've probably heard, right? But you shouldn't practice. What love advice have you heard that you are not supposed to practice, but you know that you wish you could practice?
The woman is always right.
Thank you.
It's something.
That's-
It's
Do you
something.
agree?
It's something.
Women are always right.
It's something you shouldn't practice.
No, you shouldn't.
It's something you shouldn't practice because women are
Shouldn't.
not always right. And that inflates our ego.
Yeah.
That inflates our ego.
The
and
way you're looking ahead, yeah,
Yeah.
please, we don't like that. Oh. We don't like
it
that.
inflates the ego and it makes you feel like you are on top. But then the Bible calls women to submission, and not submission in a place of slavery, submission with power. Because when you fully submit and like the person you are with is like knows or is thinking that you're actually submitting, you actually get away with a lot of things. You don't like he doesn't realize it, but you do get away with a lot of things. I'm not going to say it right here. Otherwise, we'll catch you.
We understand. Don't
Yes,
worry.
thank you.
Do you have anything to say? Any love advice, Uncle Jed?
Oh yeah. Okay. So her money is her money and my money is our money.
But it's
Please
true,
don't
eh?
do it. Don't do it. Like we live in the 21st century. Okay. Both of us are working. There's no need having or being petty with each other's money. Let's come together.
I think
and
it
use
comes
our
to a
money.
point where it's a decision,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Communication and then decision making.
Yeah, but we're living in hard times. Let's be real. Okay, if this together, what's the harm? What are you running away from?
But you know, some men too, especially extremely rich men, they feel like as if when you guys do things together, you as a woman, you come and take everything at the end of the day from him.
Oh,
that was just
that's
by
a
the way.
traditional way of thinking.
Yeah.
Please, we're Christians. Let's
Okay.
truly believe that we serve the same God and we live in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any advice, love advice for our Christian brothers and sisters who are in a relationship, and also any advice for the single ones, you know, those who are thinking twice whether they should go for it or they shouldn't go for it?
Oh,
I think
Okay.
that for the single ones, talk to God about it.
Wow.
Like when I ended my last relationship when I was single, I wasn't like always praying for like somebody to come. Always praying, but I reached a point in my life. I finished my national service, and then I spoke to God that it's
Then
either
you really wanted to marry early because some of us we finished national and the next thing in our mind was studies.
yeah. So no, it's not that I wanted to marry early. So I was thinking that I would probably marry around age of 27 or 28. But then I told God that I'm going to my next stage of life, and I'm either going to do my master's or I'll go and work. And so anybody or like he should take wherever he takes me, he should bring me help
Okay.
in that phase. And if it comes in the form of a relationship, fine. If it doesn't,
I didn't
too,
even ask how you guys
Fine.
met. But
if
I'll
that
ask
were to
backstage.
fine. So I was like, I felt like if I had started my masters before meeting him, I probably wouldn't have been there because I would have very focused
On the
on
relationship.
on my masters to even think about entering into
Oh.
the relationship.
Mm,
But I met him right before my admission for masters came. I had met him like after I did my masters interview for the admission.
Oh, okay.
So like
Okay.
around that period was when I met him, and then we started talking, and like sparks were flying.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I believed that like I could enter, even though I can admit that it might have been rushed
How did you know he was the one?
because I have spec.
Ah,
I have
okay.
spec. And so first of all, like he met the spec.
Christian brothers and sisters,
Also-
they have spec. Oh.
Also, like he was a church worker, like he was a youth facilitator. Like he came to be a youth facilitator.
Oh,
And so that was another thing I was praying to God for. Somebody
Wow.
who would work in the same field as me and could understand if
The work.
if I'm frustrated about certain things, he would understand.
Okay.
And so like, and thankfully I like you, I like you too. Hey, thank God, hey, we move on. Hey.
Okay, Uncle Jed.
Yeah,
Any love advice?
Oh yes. Okay. So for the single people, Jesus gave a parable of 10 virgins. 5 were foolish and 5 were wise.
Taking notes.
But you see, the difference between them was that in their waiting period, 5 of them prepared themselves. They filled themselves up and they grew in themselves. They allowed themselves to become a better version and be prepared for the coming of the groom. All right. So in all that you're doing, if you are single now, focus more on your growth. be a better version of yourself.
That's
Analyze
true.
who you are. Break away all your negative aspects of your personality and
Yeah.
build something stronger that you can rely on, such that no man can bring you down. But at the same time, you understand what being in a relationship should mean.
Taking notes.
Yeah. Now, for those who are in a relationship, one very important thing that our counselor told us is that you need to learn to have the relationship be more than yourself. So you need to let the relationship be more important than whatever you think your ideals are. Because then
Wow.
you are two people. It's a relationship. The two of
Yeah.
you, what you have, should be far more important than
what?
whatever you think is right. Right.
Okay.
So choose your relationship every time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
choose a
Fight for
relationship.
it.
Wow. Fight for it, even
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
falling.
Yeah.
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 If
If
it's
the two of
important
you have
to
made
you.
a choice to be together.
So if it's
and
falling,
there are
falling,
no,
falling,
and there
where
are no,
I
as they
know.
say, red flags.
So what
But
if
then
he
it's
decides
just
not to worship God again?
Oh, those are huge red
Eh, but
flags.
so don't.
Extreme.
I
Those are
mean,
very
there are some
extreme red
restrictions.
flags.
of
But at the
course.
same time, too, there's no harm in helping someone find their way back to Christ. People fall all the time. Even those who are in marriages, their
Yeah.
husbands or their wives may fall once or twice, and then they help them rise up again. So I mean, just because the relationship may not seem so nice at the moment doesn't mean you should give up on it. Fight for it. Let it be more important than whatever you are fighting with.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jed and Olivia. I actually
You're
learned a lot, and I'm sure my viewers also learned a lot as well. And I want to say thank you for honoring our invitation. And I can't wait to also get the wedding invitation. So guys, I know you guys have learned a lot, and I'm sure you can't wait for our next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Love Dates Love, and on IG, TikTok, Facebook at Love Dates Love. And I know you guys would want to give shout outs, but then first I want you to give shout out to LDL. I mean, just say something.
Hi guys, this is LDL. Please follow LDL on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere you can find your social media. Just follow LDL. There's a lot in store for you. There's a lot you will learn from, and you will benefit greatly. Catch you next time.
Olivia?
Yeah. So like it's a great ministry, it's a great platform, and I want you all to get connected, ask questions, because they will answer. Like LDL will
We
answer,
have
and
the quality people.
quality people, like
Quality.
quality staff. Like, they are very good. Like from the producers to the cameraman to the audio guys, so everybody here at LDL is like
and the
wonderful.
host.
To the editors, to but to the best offering also in LDL.
Okay.
We want to just say a big thank you for even inviting us in the first place.
We are grateful.
We are
too.
also grateful for allowing us to share our story, to inspire others, and hopefully, so hopefully good things are coming this year.
Oh yeah.
Amen.
And everybody, happy
including
Vows
the
Day to
wedding
you.
Invitation, Amen.
Make sure that you enjoy this Vows Day. Share something special.
Chill, I mean,
give
even
that
if
friend
you are
of yours some
single,
chocolates.
Yes.
Yeah, say you love you to someone.
If you are
Like, just
single,
say I
eat your
love you.
friends' chocolates. Those ones that like their boyfriends to come and give it to their girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Eat it.
If you nash, at least you eat chocolates.
Exactly. So see you same time or another time next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.